The internet's broken.
No, just annoying authentication. You should be live. I'm just refreshing the page and I want to test the audio. You should be good to hear my. All right, I hear my annoying voice.
All right, we're good. All right, call to order. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law is enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies, at which time any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the Board office and at Bound High School, and mailed in fax to the Courier News, Bound Borough Clerk, South Bound Board of Education, and any person who has requested an individual notice and paid the required fee. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, prior to the roll call, I need a motion to accept Mrs. Snell as our board secretary for this evening.
Motion.
Motion, Mrs. Fazio, second.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Morris. Can I get all in
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Excellent.
Would you do roll call?
So at this point in time, we'll move on to roll call. Mr. Bell?
Here.
Ms. Morris?
Here.
Ms. Musano?
Here.
Ms. Rossomano? Mr. Tomaselli? Mr. Valere? Mr. Zucco?
Here.
Mr. Fazio?
Here.
And Mr. Januzzi.
Here.
We have a quorum. At this moment in time, we're going to do students of the month, and we will start with the mathematics with Dr. S.
Hi, good evening, everybody. The Student of the Month recipient for the Lamont School is Samantha Valverde.
Good job.
The Student of the Month recipient for the Annex is Kathy Smith. Congratulations.
For Lafayette School, we have Mrs. Clark.
Our first student of the month for the month of October is Adrian Castillo Lopez. And Sebastian Oliveira.
For Stony School, we have Mr. Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. Our first recipient is Wilson Garcia Kumpar. And Mr. Susan Michelle. Our next recipient is Christopher Lopez Chavez. Our next recipient is Barnaby Jimenez. And our final recipient is Jimmy Calderon.
Union Middle School, we have Mrs. James Sherman.
Hello, everyone. The Community Middle School is proud to recognize this evening for Student of the Month, Diana Salazar Rodriguez. And the Community Middle School is also proud to recognize Jameer Graham.
Next up for Bamberg High School, we have Mr. Smith.
Good evening. Bamberg High School is proud to recognize the following Crusader Citizens of the Month. David Alvarez. Next, we have Luana Barbosa de Silva. Next, we have Angelina Gonzalez. And lastly, we have Elijah Stackhouse, who cannot be here. Thank you.
Moving down to the general awards, we'll start with Lamont Maddox and Dr. Essendon.
So this month's STEM recipient is Mrs. Cedillo. Mrs. Cedillo is one of our amazing teacher assistants at Lamont School, who goes above and beyond to serve our students, staff, families, and teachers. Being a jack of all trades, she's always willing to assist if anything asked of her, including translating, sub-coverage, arrival, dismissal, and so much more. Her positive energy and attitude and energy is contagious. We are incredibly lucky to have her as part of our school. Congratulations.
For Lafayette School, we have Mrs. Clark.
Lafayette's gem for the month of October is Sonny Mirkovic. Those who don't work in education, and possibly even those that do, but are outside of the lower elementary grades, oftentimes do not fully grasp all that goes into teaching a child how to read. While we all know what it sounds like when someone reads well, many do not know what it takes to get them there. For parents who have a child struggling with the fundamentals of reading, those aspects can seem even more confusing. When it is time to have those very specific conversations, there is one person I know that can deliver the message succinctly while giving a thorough picture of each child's strengths and weaknesses. Mrs. Indrakova. I was lucky enough to work alongside her when I was in first grade and learned many techniques to support our students on their road to being successful readers, all of which I carry with me today. Now my luck continues as she is able to support Lafayette staff when they are at a crossroads with how to help a student, explain to parents specifically where their child lies with the tenets of reading, and of course, give our students all they need to build a strong foundational base for a skill that will carry them through life. Thank you, Mrs. Indikovic, for all that you do. Lafayette appreciates you.
And for Smalley School, Mr. Edwards.
Ms. Esposito has been a teacher in the district for the past 5 years and all at Smalley School. She is a key team member and also the grade level chair for the 6th grade. She teaches math and science. Ms. Esposito is an advocate for her students and who is someone who speaks up for her students on a regular basis. She's always collaborating with administration and her peers to find ideas to make her students shine. She also makes sure the 6th grade moving on ceremony is on point and in place because she wants to make it extra special for those students going to community school. She is proud of her students and makes sure to prepare them with lifelong lessons. She teaches passionately and makes sure every minute is installed to them. Ms. Esposito is also an assistant softball coach for the Vandenbroek High School team. I'm proud to announce the Gem of the Month for October, Ms. Esposito. Ms. Esposito, so I'll make sure she gets this tomorrow.
For Community Middle School, Mr. Sanzone.
Hello again. The Community Middle School is proud to recognize Mr. Kyle Dennis as this month's Representative GEM Award recipient. Mr. Dennis is in his second year teaching social studies at CMS. There's so much to learn for any new teacher in a school district. Over the last 2 years, all new teachers, including Mr. Dennis, have had the added responsibility of settling into their new role while in the midst of a pandemic and an ever-changing educational landscape. All teachers have had to adapt their approach in order to ensure students were engaged in the classroom activities and meeting their learning goals. Over the past year, Mr. Dennis has done a fantastic job connecting with students, overcoming the challenges related to virtual learning, hybrid learning, and everything in between. According to one of Mr. Dennis's colleagues, quote, he has really begun to shine this school year. Students gravitate toward his positive and humorous demeanor. Mr. Dennis is always willing to lend a helping hand and volunteer when things need to get done. Whenever we are short-staffed, Mr. Dennis is the first to cover a colleague's class. Earlier this year, when middle school advisor positions were posted, Mr. Dennis was the first person to submit a letter of interest and is currently a co-advisor to the student council. This Friday, the Community Middle School will host its first dance in almost 2 years. As we strive each and every day to revive a sense of normalcy in school, events such as a school dance offer substantial untold benefits for students and their families. On behalf of the Community Middle School teaching staff, I would like to thank Mr. Kyle Dennis for his contributions and effort in making CMS a great place to learn and grow.
For Vandenbroek High School, we have Assistant Principal, Ms. Christine Larson.
Thank you. For October, our staff nominated Mr. Smith as our GEM. So I'm proud to present this award to him. Earlier in the month, he got to hear several different staff members stand up at our faculty meeting and just kind of say what they admire about him. So I'm just going to read a couple of the highlights now. Theodore Roosevelt once said that they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Mr. Smith exemplifies this quote: "The building walkthroughs, regular check-ins, and having an open door policy goes a long way. You have invested in our kids simply by being a compassionate, trustworthy, respected, and innovative administrator who implements impactful programs such as AVID. Great principals take responsibility for school success and even the failures. Great principals lead teaching and learning and develop excellent teachers. Great principals build a strong school community. Every new school year has its share of ups and downs. This year is no exception to the rule. It has not been an easy transition for any of us, but your leadership and positive attitude have helped pull us through and navigate these unfamiliar roads. You take time out of your day to help students and teachers alike, despite how busy your own schedule is. You have fostered a sense of support and appreciation that allows us as educators to improve our practice daily. As the principal, you go the extra mile and beyond expectations for the staff and students. You truly put the PAL in principal, and I could not be more proud to be part of the Vandenbroek High School community. You are the backbone of our limitless frame of mind and lead by example every day. There are a variety of factors that make a leader great, but most significant qualities of Mr. Smith are his ability to make quick and effective decisions, his interpersonal skills, and his ability to empower others. I often work with Mr. Smith during times of crisis or high-stress situations. His ability to remain calm and make decisions during difficult times does not go unnoticed. There is nothing worse than having to wait during these difficult moments, but he proceeds with confidence. His interpersonal skills is another one of the qualities that makes him great. Most recently, we went to visit a student at an out-of-district placement. The student was thrilled to hear that Mr. Smith would be joining the meeting. He recognizes the importance of building these relationships and how it impacts one's mental health. He is truly a man of integrity and walks the talk. The ability to build rapport with students leads to great leads to school connectedness, leading to better outcomes. I know that he is incredibly busy, but he still finds time to have important conversations and listens to the needs or feedback of staff and students. He also constantly empowers others with his encouraging emails. He's always trying to get his staff to excel and not settle for mediocre. He also consistently pushes his slogan, Limitless, and he believes wholeheartedly in the capabilities of his team. I appreciate all that he has done, and I am thankful for his ability to lead the team through his understanding of others, drive for change, and most importantly, leading by example. So in October, which is Principal Appreciation Month, it is my honor to present this award to Mr. Smith.
At this time, we're going to take a 5-minute recess.
For the district.
Oh, we have one more.
Yeah, good one.
For the district on the video.
Mr. Chris Collegier is our district gentleman of the month. Mr. Collegier always comes in and tries to finish all his work orders as fast as possible so the teachers can proceed and teach for the rest of the day uninterrupted. And I know how much he tries to get all of them done despite servicing multiple buildings before the teachers start for the day of teaching. And I know he continues to strive to finish them before the end of the day during your preps and trying to minimize interruptions during the school day so the teachers can teach the students and he can start the next day fresh and finish anything up that proceeds that to the next day. That is our district gentleman.
Okay, now we're going to need a 5-minute recess.
Don't beg to me now.
Once everyone's back.
All right, you're unmuted and good to go.
Okay, at this point, we're gonna have the superintendent contract addendum hearing, so if anyone would like to step forward concerning the addendum to the superintendent's contract, now would be the time to do so.
I'm not coming up, I'm just gonna.
Okay. You sure? Okay. All right, hearing none. We do not have committee reports, we did not meet since the last meeting, so there's nothing to report there. At this point, we are open to the public for agenda items only. Is there anything online?
There's nothing online.
Okay, hearing none. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from 10/11, regular meeting?
Motion.
Mr. Bell, second.
Second.
Ms. Morris, any questions or comments? Hearing none, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Abstain.
Mr. Zuko? Abstain. Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
Okay. Personnel resolutions, district and high school, resolve the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions under district and high school 6.2 through 6.6. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr.
Zupko.
Zupko, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Val, any questions or comments? Hearing none, can I get a roll call vote?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Yes.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
The motion carries. 7, personnel resolutions, middle and elementary. Resolve the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in personnel resolutions under middle and elementary schools 7.2 through 7.6. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Ms. Morris, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Zupko, any questions or comments?
I'm glad to see that we're having programs for enrichment and child mediation. That's awesome. I'm glad that's.
Go ahead, Mr. James.
From a fiscal perspective, are 7.2 and 7.3 included in our budget? They're just the after-school programs.
Actually, no, they're coming from ESSER 2 funds. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's from the federal government, right?
Yes.
Relief. Hearing now, no other questions, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Yes.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
Motion carried.
8, resolve the Donald Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in education resolutions under district and high school 8.2 through 8.4. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Val, can I get a second? Second. Ms. Muslim? Any questions, comments? Hearing none, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Yes.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
Motion carried.
9, resolve the Donald Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in education resolutions under middle and elementary schools 9.2 and 9.3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Zelko, can I get a second?
Second.
Ms. Morris, any questions or comments?
Just the same question on 5.2, under the same funding?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hearing none, questions or comments, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Yes.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. 10, finance resolutions resolving. Donald Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in financial resolutions 10.1 through 10.5. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Val, second.
Second.
Questions or comments? I just want to thank the Belleville Police Department for their donation of 25 helmets. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, can I get a roll call?
Mr. Bale?
Yes.
Ms. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Musam?
Yes.
Mr. Zuko?
Yes.
Mr. Fazio?
Yes.
Mr. Janudy?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, are there any other matters that I would like to bring before?
I
Go ahead.
talked to somebody about it a while ago, and then I was just talking to some
other people about it. I think on our newly designed Bound Brook website, we should have a fundraising page so that people can support the different fundraisers for the different things, because I know lots of people who spirit wear the pies, they know each year, and even if they don't have a child in that class, would be willing to support it.
We'll pass it along.
Thank you.
Mr. Christensen, how did the homecoming dance go?
It was excellent, without issue.
Awesome.
No issues whatsoever. We actually had to hire a Raritan Township police officer. But yeah, no issues at all. Kids were very well behaved.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
However, Ed, you have over 300 in attendance, correct? It's one of our most well-attended dances in a long time.
Most well-attended dance that we've had since I've been here.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Okay, at this point, open to the public for discussion. Just come forward, state your name.
We have nothing online.
Just a reminder for everyone, pie sales are still open.
We just talked about those pies.
Oh, good. All right. Well, you've got a couple days left. Feel free to contact me if anybody needs a pie or pies. They're delicious. Thank you. Information's on the website if we need it.
Does your kid get like credit if I order for you?
She's a seventh grader, so it really
It doesn't matter. You have to make it? All right, I'll order pies for you. Whoever gets credit, doesn't matter. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward?
Excuse me, is this for a general meeting?
No, this is for anything and everything. It doesn't have to pertain, so if you want to come forward, just state your name and address, and then you can address the board. Do we have a sign up? We usually have a sign up. Oh, okay.
Hi, good evening. My name is Walter. I'm here representing my niece, who's a freshman at this school. Over a month ago, my niece was a part of an incident that happened here in the school where she was bullied and she suffered some physical damage. But since then, she's had a lot of issues with anxiety and PTSD and a loss of trust for some of the school officials that she's spoken with here during the time of investigating this issue. So I want to bring this up because I'd like to understand what are the correct protocols for these sort of incidents. We've been told that an HIV report would be created and given to us within 10 days of the incident, which we still have not received. When we spoke with Mr. Gallagher, he was gracious enough to help us with a school therapist or psychologist that would talk to my niece about her issues with anxiety and PTSD. She's made comments when the incident happened and she was questioned. She made comments to some of the school officials that spoke to her, but she lost confidence in those officials because, well, they undermined her comments and in some cases made inappropriate comments. So I'm just here today to find out more about this incident.
Was it hidden filed on her behalf?
Yes, and actually since the first incident, multiple incidents have happened since, each one being disclosed with the school officials, and we still have not heard much from that either. A police report was also being created when this incident happened, which we have not heard of either.
The board is unaware of that.
Well, that's why I'm.
That's why he's gonna.
Well, I'm just here today to bring it to your attention. That's all.
I met with mom and the uncle. I hope she told you I did a follow-up with her the other day.
She may have mentioned it, but she's also been trying to contact the principal and with multiple attempts has failed, and each time leaving a message with the secretary, but not getting any callbacks, and that's happened multiple times.
All right, just so we're clear on something, Walter, just so you know, I went to guidance.
Okay.
I called her to guidance, so that nobody knew that she was gonna be talking to me. I had a conversation with her and she had alluded to there was a third issue.
Yep.
And that third issue, she said she had already spoken to Mr. Steele. So if she
And
did-
Mr. Steele was one of the individuals who undermined some of her previous comments. So she also doesn't have much trust in them.
Understood. And again, you know, I reiterated to her at that point in time, as I will with both of you, very much hands-on at the moment with this and,
Sure.
and following through each of those protocols. Now, as for the reports, Again, that's, as you know, I don't get those until they're completely done and they come up to me and they go from the board. So, and again, I read to you, well, you know, I had them bring to me so I could read it to you, so you knew what the first one was.
Sure.
And Mr. Smith has been out, so, again, I haven't had a chance to follow up with him on a few things. Because I think today or Friday was his first day and I was out last week. So, I assure you I'm on top of this and I'm getting to all of the points that you're bringing up.
Sure.
And again, some of the things we have discussed privately, have taken place. So I just want to reassure you guys of that. And I also, spoke to your niece about that and guidance as well to make sure she understood that.
Sure.
So if you have any further issues, you guys know where to get in touch with me. And if you feel as though she's not being treated fairly whatsoever, I want to know.
Yeah, well, that's precisely what I'm saying. She feels, and also myself and her mother, my sister, feels she has been treated unfairly because it's her, and the accused, the people who have been harassing her since the incident, continue to harass her, and it's a group, and every time there's an incident, there's more and more names involved, and we're trying to get to the bottom and understand why are so many people getting involved, so many kids. We were also supposed to have a remediation session with the parents and the individuals, the students, which has yet to happen as well. So, you know, we'd like to understand when that will happen as well.
I'm going to follow up with you on that.
Sure.
Just so we can be clear on that one.
Sure.
So after the meeting, before we go to executive session, I'll talk to both of you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Definitely.
Real quick, before we do anything else, if we can have Mrs. Clark come up for, no, Mr. Edwards come up real quick. We have a student of the month who just needed that, like, do that.
Yes, so Wilson Garcia Campar.
All right, with that, we're going into executive
No, I
session.
I know Mr. Passon's here. I had reached out to Mr. Passon. I know there were some issues that Dr. Gallagher had sent to me concerning some things that will be part of negotiations. So once, reaching out to you again to let you know that we are well prepared, we're ready and able to negotiate in good faith, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Like I said in the email, I'll contact you when we're ready.
I understand. I know the contract's over in June. I just want to make sure that we have sufficient time to make sure that the teachers, issues that keep coming up, I know there are two issues that you had asked about individually, and we're not going to individually address them. They need to be part of collective bargaining, so that is your answer, as far as those two issues are concerned. So I look forward to sitting down at the table. At this time, we're going to executive for
1, 7, and 8.
1, 7, and 8. Do I have to read those out loud to them? No. So can I get a motion to go into executive?
Motion.
Mr. Powell?
Bell, second by Mr. Lipko, all in favor?
All in favor? All right. The only thing that will be moving when we come back are the hip cases.
Now,
Unmuted.
All right. We are up to
All right, you're good.
15. Resolved that the Board of Education, the approval of the resolutions is outlined and approval of hit cases under high school 15.2 and 15.3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Val, second.
second,
Ms. Morris, any questions?
Yeah.
Hearing none. May go.
Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
yes,
Ms. Musama,
Yes, but abstain from 15.2.
15.2,
Yeah.
very good. Mr. Zucco.
Yes.
Ms. DeFazio,
Yes.
Mr. Janucci.
Yes.
We're up to 16.1.
Yes, resolved, Board of Education, the approval of the resolutions is outlined and approval of the hit cases under middle and elementary school 16.2. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Val, second. Mr. Zucco. Roll call.
Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Ms. Morris,
yes,
Ms. Musama,
Yes.
Mr. Zucco.
Yes.
Ms. DeFazio,
Yes.
Mr. Janucci.
Yes.
Carries. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Mr. Val, all in favor? Second.
Aye.
Ms. Morris, all in, all right. See you in 2 weeks.